Welcome to Elton's Retirement Journey and Travel. So glad to have you back. In this segment of Doing What's Right for You, I wanted to talk to you about some of the decisions I made with my investments and how they're going and what I plan to do for the future and what my expectations are. So this time last year, the last pay period, 5/31 of 2024, I started to put all contributions into a Roth BlackRock government short-term notes paying about 4% interest. And that was with the 401k. So it's been a whole year, and the contributions that are gone in, or the balance, is $7,958. So in 12 months, I put away just about 8 grand in there. Now, because it's in the 401k, and I don't get um, the transaction breakdowns like I do at my other investments, Schwab, Fidelity, and over with the E-Trade. I don't see the transactions or the interest being paid on that money every month. It just shows a gain or a loss, which is one of the reasons I don't too much like the 401ks for holding on for a long time. The rule of 55 is a great advantage, taking out the 20%. I don't like that. And the fact that the gains aren't itemized as transactions. However, it has grown up significantly. It finished up 31st of December at 62,000. So it's up to 72,000 as of today, which is June 3rd. So I'm real happy about that decision because you always want to have some tax-free money to withdraw. But one of the things that I was thinking about is I am in the need to increase the fixed income, the monies that I would draw on if I don't have a job. If you've been following me over at the Retiring Club, I've been talking about my withdrawal strategy, and I think I did a mock up on the 1040 SR as far as how I will withdraw just enough to meet the standard deduction. Well, I'm 63 now. 2 years from now, I'll be 65, and I'm eyeballing coming out of work sometime then, which is maybe a year and a half earlier than I wanted to, just so that I'm healthy and I can get out and start doing the things that I want to do. Because I did put some extra money away to pay off the mortgage, and the account that I'm going to use for my Asian travels is should be well over 20 grand by then. So I'll have some money to travel with, and with getting rid of that mortgage, my budget is going to be right intact. What I have on paper and what adds up to the year, the part-time income will cover up those necessities, that extra 22, 23. I'll probably make about three, maybe close to 4,000 because I'll be able to go to more weekday events. I'm getting off at 4. The call time for those concerts and some of the soccer games is like 3 o'clock. There's one tonight in Metallica. The call time was 3 p.m. I didn't get off till 4. And some of the games you got to be there 4:15, 4:45, and that rushing down there. I don't really want to do that. But once I'm retired, it won't matter. I have all day to do whatever I need to do. 2 o'clock, I can go ride the train down. I'll come back and get home maybe about 11, 11:30, maybe midnight, and I can make some money that way. So I'm still planning. However, last night I decided to go ahead and take a leap of faith and just turn off the reinvestment of the capital gains on the Fidelity account. The one of my Fidelity accounts that I've had for a while, which is a rollover account, I have been tracking the capital gains that it's been producing. Um, it was at an all-time high in February. It dropped significantly. It's coming back. It's a few $1,000s off from that February high. But what if it doesn't grow back to that amount where I can start liquidating some of the shares and take that $8,000 that's in the money market to 16,000? And I was thinking, well, so John, you kept records from last year's capital gains that was paid out. If you turn it off and don't reinvest the capital gains, which is a compounding of the dividends, the short-term and long-term capital gains, it'll go into that SPAXX, which is Fidelity's money market. You'll start earning 4% every month. And that will give you, right off the bat, you should have 4 years of enough cash to cover you. Now, with the big, beautiful tax bill, once I hit 65, my standard deduction will be $19,000. So between that, you take 15 out, you get 2,700 from your pension, and then you get 2,200 from your part-time work. You'll be covered on taxes. You won't owe anything, and you have just enough money to cover all your expenses and walking around money. And some of the money that's in the Roth, you could just pull it out as you need it because you've already made the decision, but the money has to come from somewhere. And there's no guarantee that the equities are going to hold up because I'm waiting for them to come back now after the downturn in the market. So, in this segment of doing what's right for you, in my case, I'm going to stop some of the reinvestments in one of my accounts. I already have another rollover IRA that is not reinvesting the capital gains. There's a certain threshold of fixed income that I must have to cover all these years. If I come out of work at 65 and I go on Medicare, so I pay off the mortgage, which there should be no problem with that. And then you start drawing out. And once you pay off the mortgage, well, the $500 I say, well, that's going straight to Medicare. You got to pay for your vision and your dental, and you know that you're going to need it. You'll see your doctor in another 2 weeks for the dentist, and he'll check, and he finds any more chipped teeth. That's an automatic crown right there. You're going to want to have that. The insurance will get that down to about $500. Those crowns are running about $1,000. But anyway, that's what I'm thinking about doing. What's right for me is to shorten down that amount of time and get yourself into retirement and be prepared to spend some of that money. As long as you're still getting 4%, you could keep pumping it into equities. But once I hit the threshold where I have 5 years, age 65, 66, 67, 68, and 69, that's 5 years of income, and you only need 15 grand, plus whatever you make part-time and your pension to get you up to about 1920, you will be in very, very good shape. And you don't have to too much worry about working for anybody. I really, really don't want to go out and apply for another job. If I get to the point where I want to do something else, I want to retire. So this is John with Elton's Retirement Journey and Travel. And on the Doing What's Right for You segment, we are going to build up our cash reserve by turning off on one of the $100,000 accounts the reinvestment of capital gains. We're going to let that $8,000 go into fixed income, and you'll do it for a couple years, and then you'll be at 65. And as soon as you got 5 years of income, you're off and running. Okay? So this is my little segment here, and thanks for dropping by. Give me some comments and some likes, and I'll see you on another video. Thank you.